Hey guys, welcome back to the Gen D podcast. We're your hosts.
Tyler and Alyssa.
Yeah.
This is our off-topic topic where we talk about things off topic.
Yes, we do.
Why does this always happen to me?
I don't know. This poor girl's going through a
Oh
lot.
my god. I don't know what's wrong with me, honestly. I'm just tired. I've been working.
A lot. I
Yeah.
don't know how
Well, the money's nice.
Well, yeah.
Having money is nice.
It is nice. I clean the library every night
Every single night? You don't
Every
get
night.
you don't get any off days?
until Thursday's the last day we clean, and then we get Friday, Saturday, and then we clean on.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like a whole job.
It is a whole job.
Like every day you gotta go down there.
I know. But I was watching a video on TikTok about secret shopper. I would love to be a secret shopper. I think it would be fun. I was watching the videos and I was like, oh, Chris talked about it once before and I didn't seem interested in it. And so he gave up on it. And then I was just like, I was watching these videos and I was like, I think it would be fun because you get to like write reviews about people. And I don't like people very much. So if you're an asshole, I'm gonna be like.
Okay, but if you're ever a secret shopper at my store,
I would give you raving reviews.
You better, even if I don't talk to you, even if I'm mean to you. I'm kidding. If I see you, obviously, I'm gonna be like, oh my god. But
I don't know if I would ever go to that one though.
You wouldn't. I don't know. You're in that area.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, because my grandmother lives over there.
Although, if you're ever in the area before 11 a.m.,
then I probably won't see you.
come stop by.
Okay.
Before 11 a.m. I usually get off at 11 a.m.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever be up that early.
But only on like Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Yeah. Because now you only work Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays?
Yeah, but I work. It's so weird because it's overnight. It's like half night, half day.
Yeah.
So it's like technically, yeah, I work Tuesday, but it was really Monday night.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I get it. I'm one of those people that are like, it's not yet Tuesday when it is Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because I don't go to bed until 4 a.m. So then it's like,
it's still Monday.
It's still Monday.
Until the sun comes.
Until the sun comes up. And then it comes up, and then I'm like, ugh, I dread my life. Me and Chris stayed up the other day. We had to go pick up our kids. It was a Saturday, and we stayed up until like 5:30, and the sun was like peeking up over the horizon.
I love those.
And
I love dawn.
Yeah, me too.
I personally, I don't even care much for the sunrise. I like it just before. Like when it's like a little bit lighter outside, but the sun hasn't come up yet. It's like working its way.
It's working its way up.
And it's like just before like the sunrise. And I'm like,
beautiful.
It's so peaceful. And it's so like minuscule, like such a small, narrow window of time. And it's perfect. And I wish that it lasted forever.
It'd just be like that for the rest of eternity.
Yeah.
Just beyond the horizon.
It's really nice. I don't know. I like my darkness sometimes. Like I wish I could like just change it whenever I want it.
See, like I said,
depending on what I want. Oh.
What is that?
I don't know. It was doing it earlier.
Hopefully it doesn't be
hot.
Type your own book up. That's okay. Yeah.
Big ass spider. I tried to watch
in there. Oh, yeah, that one, I wouldn't be shocked if there's...
crawling out of the sink, Tyler. That's how they're getting into the house.
I don't know what to do.
Pour some spider shit down your drain. You need to call my dad.
I do.
Down here.
I do need to call your dad. Yeah.
Get the number from your grandma.
Okay.
And call him.
Be like, hey, I need you to come over here.
But then you can't tell him anything.
Nothing.
Okay. Unpause.
But, what were we talking about?
LOL.
No, I don't remember. But, so I've been on a doom scroll all night. And yesterday I woke Chris up a couple times and I farted myself.
One time I was sleeping and I guess I farted really loudly and I like kind of woke up, but not then. Like I didn't wake myself out of it. I'm a deep sleeper, so it's hard for me. But anyways, I kind of like woke up a little bit later and LJ was like, half asleep, and he was rolling around, and he noticed me, and he noticed that I was awake, and he was like, I want to tell you something, but I'm not going to tell you. And I was like, why? He was like, did I do something embarrassing? And he was like, you really did. And he was like, it was so embarrassing. It's like, why would you say it like that?
It's a human nature.
He
It's
was
a bodily
just like,
function.
you would be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed.
You should be embarrassed.
He doesn't care that I did it, but it was like one of those things where he was like picking on me.
You farted
And I'm like,
in your sleep.
what am I supposed to do about that?
Chris never farts. You'll never hear him fart. He only farts in the bathroom. But when he's sleeping, sometimes he does fart.
Yeah.
And I call him out every single time. I'm like, just so you know, you farted last night. And I mean, like, not just quietly. Like,
yeah.
you loudly projectile farted.
That must have been what I did. I don't know. It scared him. We gotta get away from this topic. What is with us today?
But yesterday, so I'm like laying in bed and I'm doom scrolling, and there's this, I think she's Australian lady that's been popping up, and she's been reading like autocorrect messages, and the way she reads them and when she laughs, it makes it 10 times funnier. So like I'm laughing and I'm like hysterically laughing, and every single time I would laugh, I would fart. And I woke Chris up a couple times by laughing because it was just so funny. And every time she would laugh, it would just make it 10 times funnier.
Mhm.
And I was like, I love her for that. I think we should do an episode on autocorrect fails.
Okay.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
And then also there is another TikTok that has been going around. It's about this lady swears up and down her chair is blue, but I guess it's gray.
Oh, I've seen it. It's gray.
Yeah.
Take my word for it.
And Chris said the same thing.
I don't know how she got blue. To be fair, my first car was a Chevy Cobalt. It was a 2004 Chevy Cobalt. We love her. Her name was Miss Tilly. R.I.P. Miss Tilly. And okay, her name was Miss Tilly because my mom, it was her first car.
Yeah.
And she gave it to me when I got my license when I was 16. And it was really sweet. And, you know, she didn't have to do that. And I love her forever for that. Because, you know, we were never going to get a car. But anyways, she named it Miss Tilly. When she married my dad, every single car that we got after that always had a name. And that's how, like, that kind of got started to where all my cars have names. Like, you know, it's just a big thing for me now. Like, they have personalities. You're in them all the time.
Yeah.
You know, like, name them. Have fun.
Make them. Yeah.
And so her name was Miss Tilly. And she, I swear to God, green. She's a green car. Swear to God. Apparently she's blue. Like, I had to do, like, when I was a senior, I had to do, like, the registration for parking at school because, you know, like, I could drive now. And you have to, like, show that you're allowed to be in the parking lot. And so, like, I had to, like, hand in my registration to, like, write down information and all that stuff.
We had to do that in high school, too, yeah.
Yeah, and it said blue on it, on the title. And I was like, blue?
But it's green.
I was like, this whole time I've been under the assumption that it's green. And then I told Destiny and she was like, what do you mean? Yeah, that car's blue. I was like, no, it's not. That car is green. It's a little blue green, but it's green mostly.
Right. I would never know. So like,
yeah,
it's
I was
funny.
gonna say I'll show you a picture, but it wouldn't make any difference.
Yeah, I saw the video. Chris wasn't with me at the minute, and I walked over to him and I said, I would never know because everything's gray to me anyway.
Yeah.
So I said, this lady's talking that this couch is blue. I was like, can you tell me what color this is? And he said the same thing he did.
It is
gray. So the lady that I was watching, she did comments about the video. I commented on there and I said, I had to ask my partner because, like, I'm believing this lady. She can say it's blue. You can tell me that it's blue and I will believe you because it's blue. That's what because I can't see it either way. So it doesn't matter to me. I'm just like, okay, it's blue. A lot of people were saying it was gray. I'm not sure. So I'd like to know myself.
Yeah.
And I guess it's gray. I guess she's colorblind like I am. Like,
did you know that it's statistically more likely for men to be colorblind than women?
mm.
Although I have met one person, I went to school with her who was.
So that's why you hear mostly about men being colorblind.
Mhm.
But like, I'm like, you guys can tell me it's any color and I'll believe.
Right.
So like, it makes me nervous sometimes when I do certain things because you can get away with it,
Yeah.
and I would never know. I would never
But
know.
only when it comes to color.
Yeah,
But here's the thing, like you could literally just get a second opinion, like,
I could.
and someone's like, no, they lied to you.
Yeah, it is possible. Just like my tattoo. Like, I'm out here walking thinking it's the right color, and it is
You're
not.
yellow, etc.
And if my friend wouldn't have left me, I would have known sooner. But she left me.
Oh well, what are you gonna do?
Right.
Um,
I don't regret it.
it's just
I
like
love
an
it.
off-brand
Yeah,
Totoro.
off-brand.
Excuse me. So
Off-
so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this
Yeah.
off-topic topic up, so we can get into our actual episode.
Get there.
Just a quick little like thing, really quick. We are towards the end of this season, season
Mhm.
3.
I think we have one more episode.
Oh, really? We're that close?
Yeah, we're on 21 after this, and then 22.
Okay, so after this episode, or after the next episode, we will be taking, of course, a little period break. You know, from the podcast itself in between seasons, so that we can get set up for season 4. And you know, next week we will go into way more about that.
Mhm.
But we're never gone.
We're
you
never
know,
gone.
We're always posting on TikTok and YouTube and you know, like all the platforms. Tyler can get into those. And and also we will be posting like a bonus episode or whatever
Mhm.
in between that. So
Yep.
definitely look forward to that.
Which is
And
kinda
don't
like
go
what
anywhere.
Yeah, which is kind of like what we did last year.
Did we post a bonus?
Well, we did a Christmas special.
We did. Oh my
Mhm.
god, I forgot about that.
We did, yeah.
I forgot about that. It was Krampus versus Santa Claus.
Yeah, and it was
That was such a fun episode.
It was such a fun episode, and it was the episode that we kind of premiered our newer
Season
studio.
4. Yeah.
For season 3.
That is so fun. I didn't know that.
Right?
I mean, I did, but we also did a Halloween special, but I think we were still.
I think we were still in the middle
Yeah.
of recording. But, you know,
I love the holidays. Okay.
we love doing this, and we do have, again, we'll talk about it more towards the end, but we do have other things in the
Yeah.
works that we're kind of working on. So we're not just disappearing.
We have a collab in the works.
We do have a collab in the works, which we're super excited about.
Are super excited about.
I'm a little nervous.
I know, but you're gonna do great. You really are, and you know I talk about you all the time.
Yeah.
So, because you know it's someone that I'm very familiar with, and we'll get into that.
But
Who has a bit of an online presence.
yeah. So
Exciting.
it's exciting.
You're gonna do great.
I'm just we have been working so hard on this podcast.
Mainly Tyler. I've been having surgery now every week.
Well, but you know,
I've been working on the other one mainly.
You've been working on the other one, but which that's one of the things we got in works. But you haven't given up, and I have to say that like I really appreciate that because like you've been on this journey with me since day one.
Well, I told you, you know, I wasn't going anywhere unless, you know, I needed to go somewhere.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it's mainly just been quite an adjustment with my new job. And of course, I had surgery right after that. And I was out for 2 weeks. But, you know, we got it handled. We got it taken care of. And a very big thank you to Tyler for taking care of everything while I was gone. And still continuing to because I have no time to edit anymore. Like at all.
I've been doing the editing. I'm a little new, so
yes, which is why we're not getting the thumbnails that I always put in there. But that's on me. I should really still do that.
I think that if I knew exactly where everything was,
it's because I use a different website, and for that, and then I like do this whole thing, and that's why I'm like, maybe I should.
And which it can be simple.
That takes 2 minutes. So
I can do the episode, and while you're at work, you can click on it and do what you need to. But yeah, so that it's been a new experience for me, which I'm really excited because that actually shows me growing as
It does, and I
a
actually think
person.
that it's good at the same time for you because you are learning and picking up a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's good for you to be able to do that on the times that I am unable to,
Yeah.
be on the show.
And so if things are a little choppy to begin with, I'm sorry. I am still learning. I actually feel like I'm getting a lot better at it
Yeah.
as time goes on. With actually figuring out like certain cues to cut
Yeah.
out and
You're doing a great job.
yeah. So I
And
apologize.
he still texts me and he's like, "Is this okay? Is this how it works?" And I'm like, "You're doing great. Like, you're fine.
You're doing great. You're doing wonderful.
I was like, "You're doing great, sweetie." But we're gonna go ahead and get into our actual episode.
Yeah.
So stay tuned after
Stay
the
tuned.
intro. To our podcast.
Yeah, welcome back.
You didn't see anything that happened before, but it was really funny.
It was. We always have fun.
So basically, there's a spider in his bathroom, and it crawled out of the sink, and it's huge. It's huge. It's big.
Is it really that
Yes,
big?
I'm probably exaggerating, but it really is. I'm so serious. You're gonna see it unless it's gone now.
Yeah, I don't typically use the bathroom in that one.
Ugh.
It's just because like basement bathrooms freak me out already
Yeah.
because they're so weirdly. I don't know. I feel like basement bathrooms are so weirdly put together.
Yeah.
And then I feel like sometimes a lot of bugs and insects tend to stay down there because they're not used often.
Right.
Like they are hardly ever used. And so like I just don't tend to go down and use this bathroom. The only time I ever use it is when I'm down here.
Right.
And then it's like a quick in and out.
Same usually.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm good.
Okay. So this topic is
Confidence.
confidence. He has something specific in it.
I do have something specific in mind. I kind of based this off of my daughter, my middle child, Mackenzie. I based it off of her because I was watching Devil's Wear Prada the other day. How I kind of see Mackenzie is how I kind of seen her beginning character. Her name was, I can't remember her name.
Anne Hathaway.
It was Anne Hathaway's character. I can't remember her name for some reason.
It was like Emily or something like
Yeah,
that.
no, Emily I think is the. No, you might be right.
I don't know. Emily Blunt is in the movie.
Yeah.
She's the one who's like the assistant already, and she's like, "Oh my god, she's gonna hate you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of, when I was watching that movie, my daughter has been having some confidence issues here lately that I'm trying to kind of help her through and kind of gaining confidence in who she is as a person. Because I feel like sometimes when she talks about certain things, she's very influenced by the people that she's surrounded by, and she's a very big follower.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell that sometimes she wants to be a leader, but she's so scared to become a leader that she kind of falls in the background. So when I was watching this movie, her at the beginning is Mackenzie. Like that's how I see Mackenzie. And so I really want to kind of do a episode kind of surrounded about who she is as a person and confidence in general from people, from us, like our confidence levels, getting it back up and where I see myself now versus how I saw myself as a child. So I was like, this movie is a perfect example of trying to find out who you are and gaining certain confidence and then kind of circling back around to kind of have it level back out. Because when she's going through this journey, she starts out as a pitiful little thing, right? So she has no confidence in who she is. She just kind of, she's surrounded and she's kind of sort of confident in who she is, but she doesn't have the complete confidence in who she is.
Yeah.
You can tell that she was like, I don't feel like I'll fit in here.
Yeah.
And then she kind of finds that, like,
but
the time.
I kind of got a different message because she more like conformed than anything.
Well, that's what I'm saying is she did find some confidence.
Yeah, she did by the end of it. She was like, okay, I don't have to go too crazy.
Yeah.
Like she kind of found, like she leveled out a little bit. And there was definitely like, I don't know. It was good. Like it was a good confidence arc, you know, and everything like that. But
Yeah.
at the same time, there were parts where I'm like, why are you even listening to these people? Like,
Yeah. Well, so what I saw in the movie and how I saw it was that you can go too far with your confidence.
yeah,
Where it can kind of skew your vision on life a little bit.
yeah,
And then you can kind of like reel it back in. And like towards the end, she kind of did.
yeah. Been a long time since I've seen this movie.
Yeah. Well, I just saw it here recently. So in the beginning, she gets a job as an assistant at this big fashion industry.
Yeah,
And she had no interest in it. And she only wanted to do it so she could be a writer, you
Yeah.
know, kind of get her foot in the door a little bit.
Yeah.
But as time went on, she started to become a different person,
yeah,
trailed too hard
yeah,
into the direction of becoming a different person, where she was kind of going against her morals to begin with. And that's what I kind of see with Mackenzie sometimes, is that I feel like she'll get too confident where she kind of devalues her own morals.
mm-hmm.
And I guess this can, like, confidence might be wrong to use to begin with,
Mm-hmm.
but in the end, kind of see her become, I don't have to devalue my morals. I can be a confident person, feel beautiful in what I'm in, but at the same time, I can still be somewhat of the old person that I was.
Right.
And then kind of combine the two lives.
Yeah.
And she can kind of use the experience that she learned from this place and who she was and move forward in life.
Yeah.
And that's how I kind of see myself too. Because when I was younger, I wasn't confident at all. Like, I worried about what they thought of me. I felt like, you know, people were always judging me based on things that I did. A good example is I am a gay man. And the group of people that I hung out with in high school and also in my young adult years, they always had to dress a certain way. Like, they
Yeah.
always had to be presented in a certain way. And I was very gym shorts,
Yeah.
kind of how I am now. And
Yeah.
they always judged me because they're always like, why are you so not gay? You're so
Like masculine.
yeah, you're so straight. You can clock me. I'm not going to deny that people can't clock that
Yeah.
I'm a gay man.
But you can do straight. Like
Yeah.
you really can. Like
You think so?
yeah, do straight.
I don't know how to do straight.
Channel your inner Sean Morgan, you know?
Sean Morgan.
Yeah.
I feel like when I was younger, sometimes it would bother me
Yeah.
on
Because it's like I don't have to be any kind of way.
Yeah.
I'm just gay.
I'm just
like I just
gay.
that the only thing that comes with me being gay is like I like men. Like,
Yeah.
and that's literally it.
Well, I feel like, you know, sometimes when you first come out, you kind of, like some gay people, when they first come out, they go
Little overboard.
a little overboard on the feminine side. Because they're like, I'm free, I'm come out, I'm trying to experience this life.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
And there is nothing wrong with that.
Because you're like finding your footing,
Yeah.
you know.
And some people, they tend to stay
But
towards
some
the
people
more...
know who, like, they're just like, this is who I am. Nothing's changing about me.
Yeah. And I think that when I came out, I may have gone a little bit overboard, but nothing to the extreme that I felt like I had to dress more girly.
Yeah.
It's not me. That was never me. I was very comfortable in the clothes that I wore.
Yeah.
I'm still very comfortable in the clothes that I wear. I don't feel like I have to be any more than one thing. I'm gay. That's who I am. It's not my personality.
Right.
Just because I like men does not mean that I have to go so far over on this one side.
Yeah.
And then I do feel like there's the opposite when you come out, is that they can go try to be too masculine in who they are because they're afraid they're going to get judged as too girly. That's why, like, I understand people that don't view themselves as either one sex. People that are non-binary.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they're just like, I am who I am. Like, I don't need to identify as one or the other.
Yeah. Like, I do what I do. And
I do what I do, and I am who I am. And I love that. Because at first, I was like, I don't understand. But then now, like, as I get older and as I realize, it's like, I understand.
Yeah.
I get it.
I I just know, like, for me, and like how you said it, like, you've never wanted to be girly. You never wanted to be a girl. While I do like dress kind of like tomboyish and stuff like that at times, I'm very much a girl.
Yeah.
That's just like, I couldn't imagine being like a man. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So like for me, it's good that I know
Who you are.
who I am.
Yeah. And I think that's important as you get older to know who you are. Starting out with this podcast, like, you started out with zero confidence.
Yes.
Like, I started out with a little bit.
Why is it blurring? Do you see that?
I do see that. Maybe it's trying to, like,
Focus.
in.
I think it's because it's focusing on you and focusing away from me.
Oh, no. I feel like when you get to a certain point with this podcast, when we started out, I felt a little bit more confident because, like, I've done it 2 times before.
Yeah.
But you were a new host with me.
Right.
So we
I
had
was
to
very
find,
like,
yeah, but we had to find our confidence.
And then we got on camera, and it was like,
And now we're kind of like, oh, well, whatever.
No
we're on
biggie.
camera now, so we're all right. But I feel like when we started out, we had no confidence. And then as time went on, we felt a little bit more confident. And sometimes, even during episodes that we were just like unsure about, we felt so confident that when we found a topic that we wanted to start talking about, we were able to go on that topic.
I was literally telling Tyler, like, yesterday, I'm pretty sure it was yesterday. I was like, we should delete seasons 1 and 2. We should make them completely unavailable to viewers. And then redo those topics into our later seasons, because we're a lot more experienced now. And I feel like people starting out from, because sometimes you want to start from episode 1, season 1. And I get that, but it's a lot of weird shit to get through.
Yeah, because we weren't where we
didn't know who we were, really. You know what I mean? And we had to find ourselves in this podcast while doing it. And I think it really did take until this season, because we got a new camera. We were a lot more confident with it.
Yeah.
So I think that if we like took old topics and then remastered them into a new season, but we should definitely delete seasons 1 and 2.
Okay, but we had to write down topics.
Well, we would do like, you know, and we wouldn't do it like every episode. We would probably like do one from an old episode, like one from this episode.
Yeah. No, I
or
love
one
that.
from like whatever topic we want to talk about.
Yeah, I love that though. I love that idea, and I think we should do it.
I didn't say all that yesterday. Yesterday, all I said was we need to delete seasons 1 and 2.
So I was like, why would we delete them? No, and I get it. Like, this be our season 1.
Because this really, like, even the setup, like,
is completely different.
It's us. Like, it's very, like, we made it us, and it took time to do that. And while I loved our old setup and everything that we did, it worked for us at the time until we could find this, like, what actually works for us. So, like, I do feel like it would be cool if, like, it all looked like this, and, like, everyone, and we got to, like, reintroduce these topics, because at the same time, like, we are different people now than we were a year and a half ago. You know what I mean? So, like,
I agree. I love that idea. We're gonna take it. We're gonna run with it.
Okay, I'm so excited. I'm so happy.
I just think it's just because that also, like, builds us in the confidence level that we were from where we were.
Yeah, and we had some really, really good topics, but I feel like we just struggled sometimes because we, like, you know, we just, our camera, our technology was messing up left and right. Like, there were episodes that we couldn't even air because they didn't even record the sound on, and we were so funny and so, like, on par. Just the chemistry was chemistrying, and, like, I feel like if we could, like, get that back and, like, do it in this studio setting, like, with us now as we are with our good microphone, you know, like,
our confidence is there.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. I agree. I feel like this could be season 1.
Yeah, remastered
season 1, and then, because on season 1 we weren't even on camera.
Yeah,
we weren't even on camera on season 1. We were just on. So we could
just replace season 1 with new, like, our remaster episode. Yeah,
I like that.
Cool.
Okay, that's the confidence level that we're at now. Is that we know where we kind of want to go, and we're learning confidence as it go on, trying to get, like, because the things that we're working on, that's a new confidence, because we're about to put ourselves out with people, and me and Alyssa both are very weird about people, but you know, at the same time, I'm extra weird about people.
It's a lot of fun because this podcast has given us opportunities to like do things that we're very passionate about. For instance, my books. And you know, he likes the podcasting side of it. I obviously do have a good time podcasting, but it's not my
it's not cup of tea.
It is my cup of tea, but it's not the cup of tea.
Yeah,
you know, like
cup of tea.
It's not my iced,
gotcha.
you know, like my iced coffee in the morning, you know.
And you know, it's funny because one of the things that I told Mackenzie about like confidence in herself is that she drew this stitch right here. Like, I don't know if you guys can see it.
Yeah, they can see it if they're watching.
Yeah, if you're watching. If you're not watching, there's a stitch that my daughter drew, and I love Stitch. He's one of my favorite people. She drew it, and it's so good.
Okay, here's my thing. I love the fuck out of that picture. I stare at it all the time because, and Mackenzie, if you're listening, it's a really cute picture, and I love it. And here's why: because it's not like a carbon copy Stitch. It's like a playful like version of Stitch, and like he's so cute and he's adorable, and he's got his little tongue. He's like,
yeah, he's got his little tongue sticking out,
and it's imperfectly perfect. Yeah. And like I love it so much. And I think we need to like frame it.
We should frame it. So like she drew it and I was like, I love this. And you can tell it's Stitch. You knew it was Stitch. So it wasn't like one of those stick figure drawings that you're trying to figure out what your kid actually drew. You knew that it was Stitch. And one thing that I told her about is that sometimes she gets so mad about drawing because of the fact that she's like, I just feel like it's not right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but it is at the time.
Yeah.
And the longer that you work on it, the better it's going to get.
Practice definitely makes perfect. I can't tell you how many times I'm like, there's something missing. And then I figure it out and I'm like, oh my God.
And then she follows what her friends say.
Yeah.
And that sometimes is a problem to me because she has a really good friend. Sometimes she kind of gets on my nerves because she'll tell Mackenzie, well, I'm here and you're not there yet. And then Mackenzie feels like she's lesser than. And sometimes she stops drawing because of the fact that her friend made her feel like she was less than.
Yeah.
And I looked at Mackenzie and I was like, look, no matter what spot you're in at this point in time, you have to understand that just because she's there at this moment does not mean that you won't get there or surpass her.
Right.
So if you stop doing that because your friend is making you feel less than, then you're losing your confidence and you're stopping doing something that
she should
you
like
enjoy
prove her
doing.
wrong just to spite her.
Yeah. And I'm
that's petty me.
I'm like that is one of those things is that I think that sometimes if you prove somebody wrong, your confidence is there.
Yeah.
You gain a confidence from that.
Yeah.
I tell her all the time, do you think I should give up on the podcast? Because like right now we got some new followers, but you know, at the same time, like we're not where I wish that we were.
Right.
But like I was like, do you think I should just give up on the podcast because I'm not where everybody else is with podcasting?
Yeah.
And she goes, well, no, because you love doing it. I said, precisely.
Yeah.
Just because right now I'm not where I think we should be, does not mean that I'm going to give up on it.
Right.
Because I love doing it. It's something that I love doing. So I'm not going to give up on it. I'm going to gain stuff from every momentum of every part. We got new followers. That made me so excited. We're not at the thousands, but we got some new followers. Yeah. We got new followers.
Other people know who we are. That's so cool.
And
no, I feel the same way, especially when it comes to my writing and everything like that. Like if I just gave up because nobody's reading my books right now, they don't know who I am.
Right.
Who
is that?
Yeah, they don't know who I am. They don't. And that being said, I do have a fan base.
Yeah.
It's for free. I didn't want to make you pay for it.
Starting out.
Yeah, especially since it is my first book. Did it do very well? Yes.
But, you know, as time goes on.
For free.
Yeah.
And
but you
also,
get more confident.
And I did. It gave me the confidence that I needed to continue writing, to be like, oh, maybe I am good at this. Even if other people, and here's the thing, when it comes to me, I don't know if it's the same way with you in the podcast, but when it comes to me, if even one person reads it and is like, this is a banger book, I needed this in my life, then good, I did my job. Like, that's one person that's like, affected by my work.
And it does. It's beautiful. because then that gives you a little bit more confidence to continue
exactly.
to do it. Because it always takes the right person, the right place to
Mhm.
get you where you need to go,
Yeah.
right? But if you lose the confidence, you're never going to trail. And it took me forever
Mhm.
to finally sit down and go, I'm going to do this no matter what.
Yeah.
It took me years. And I've always wanted to do something like
Yeah.
this. And then finally, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to continue to do this. And I love doing this. And I'm going to push forward. And that's the thing that I'm trying to show her
Right.
is with her confidence is don't give up.
Yeah. You should get her like a poster that's like, hang in there, kitty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so, like, there are some times that I see that little glow in her and I'm like, run with it.
Yeah.
Go with it. Run with it. And then she's, but my friend or this person. Fuck what those people say.
Do you want to know what my advice to her is?
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. If you don't tell anybody, then you can't give them that opportunity to make you feel less than or to kind of shut you down.
Yeah.
Like if that person in particular, oh, you can't do this,
Mhm.
and then you do it and you come out with it and you're like, well, I did it.
I did it.
Tell them after.
Yeah.
Tell them when you're done that you did that. You're like, I wrote a whole book.
And then they're going to try to tear you down. You know, no matter what you do,
Yeah.
we're going to have people that are going to be like, oh, this person, you should look this way or you should do it this way. That's what you think we should do.
Yeah, and everybody thinks differently.
But we're going to continue to do it our way.
Yeah.
Like me and Alyssa have a hard time sometimes staying on top.
Yeah.
Is like that's why we do off
We even
topic.
joked about like changing the title of our podcast to off topic. Yeah, off topic. It was just off topic.
But I do love that off topic.
Me
topic.
too. Lucky, like we're gonna
Don't-
TM. You can't steal that.
Yeah, I can't see that. If you do, we're coming after you. We have a dating.
I have a gun.
And she doesn't. No, she doesn't. Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Oh.
I have two.
But that's a joke.
No, I'm not gonna do anything.
Yeah. But no,
I don't use them.
I
I just own them.
They're there.
It's
They're pretty.
They are, and here's like the first gun that I have is they're not in working order. There's no way anybody can actually get harm from these. It would probably jam. But like, because I don't clean them, I don't use them. You know, I don't need to. Okay, but it's like a memorabilia kind of thing for me. You know, because my first gun, it's a pink little 38 special handgun.
I remember you talking about.
Yeah, and it's tiny and it's pink, and I only bought it because my sister wanted it, and I didn't even like pink at the time. In fact, it was my least favorite color. But she went, I want that one. Let me go run to the bank, and I went, we're getting that one.
Yeah, we're getting that one.
And I was like, I want that one. And I was 13, and my dad was like, I see what you're doing, but okay, I'm gonna instigate this. And so he got it for me. And then for Christmas one year, he got me a revolver, and it's like a Western style, and it's cute. Like I like it, but it's kind of rusted.
Yeah.
It's kind of rusted because it's been years and I've moved so many times, and it's safe, it's locked up. I'm fine. They're just not functional because they're so old and
you don't take care of them.
But I should. I don't want to shoot anybody.
Yeah, but
they're just memorabilia. They're souvenirs to me. I don't know. They're life souvenirs.
They're life souvenirs.
Yeah,
you gotta keep them. But that's one of the things that a lot of people are going to be like, you're a little too much. At the end of the day, it is our show. We're talking about our life experiences through our perspectives. We enjoy doing it, and sometimes we wind our way back. We love a good segue.
We love a good segue. We should get T-shirts that say that.
Yes.
Because we say it all the time.
I'm down. I'm so
write
down.
Write it down.
Yeah. I think, so one of the things about Devils Wear Prada is that she started out as this little incompetent girl.
Yeah.
As time went on, she gained, but she also became hateful.
She did.
Towards a certain point where she was like, well, she didn't necessarily become hateful. She just gained too much where it was kind of like walking all over people, where she thought she was above everybody. And that's where confidence can become a problem, is when you think
too much confidence.
Yeah.
To the point where you're just a narcissist.
Yeah. And then towards the end of the movie, she learns that while they're sitting in the cars where it really clicks with her, that she's like, oh my God, I did become that person.
Yeah.
So the girl the Meryl Streep, the lady that she played, she was overly confident where she thought she was better than everybody. And it showed where she would like shoo people away,
Yeah.
or they were like, "Oh, you're boring me with these questions," and you just made an unworkable environment around you where these people had to change who they were because
Yeah, you walked into the
yeah,
room,
you
or
walked
like
into the
they have to like
room.
walk on eggshells around you.
Yeah,
I remember a scene where Anne Hathaway, her character, she's like, "They all look blue to me," and she's like, "Blue? It looks blue."
yeah, it was the belt.
Yeah, the belt.
The
That's right.
belt.
She was like, "There are 3,000 different blues in the fucking ocean." I don't know.
She was naming them off, and Anne Hathaway's like, "It just
Okay,
looks the same
it's
to
just,
me."
and I think she was trying to make a point of like it's not that serious.
Yeah.
But Meryl Streep was like, I don't think you understand. It is that serious. This is our entire career right here.
Right.
This is our job. Like,
Which, you know, on their end it is.
yeah.
So,
But she did take it way too seriously.
yeah,
And at the same time, towards the end of the movie, didn't she end up losing like almost everything?
I think she,
Meryl
but she
Streep.
planned it in a way where she was the one that was like, her ego was too big.
Yeah, like
where
she had to
she
get
was
a
like,
divorce.
yeah, well, she did wind up getting a divorce, but and then she was about to lose her job, and her ego was way too big to let herself
Yeah.
be kicked out. So she planned it where it looked like it was this. But what I want to say is that with that, the guy that was her best friend throughout the movie,
Yeah.
he got screwed over because he thought he was going to get that certain position,
Yeah.
and he didn't. And Meryl Streep handed it off to her person. And then that's when Anne Hathaway learned I did walk all over, for instance, the one that played the other,
Emily Blunt.
yeah, that played the other assistant. She wanted to go to Paris so bad.
Yeah.
And she wound up not being able to go.
Because she got food poisoning, right?
She got food poisoning, and also Meryl Streep was like, I like Anne Hathaway better.
Yeah.
She got kicked down.
Mm-hmm.
And then realized that she did walk all over. She did, her ego got a little bit big, and she did knock Emily out.
Yeah, like, did she even really want to go to Paris? Like,
And she really didn't.
yeah.
And then she did lose her boyfriend there for a little
To be
bit.
fair,
To be fair,
he was awful.
they were a little awful. Like her friend group, except for that one guy.
Yeah.
He was like,
You do you.
But her best friend and her boyfriend were kind of like, you're becoming too much. Like you're doing a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
You're
a little too ambitious.
Yeah. She's allowed to.
Right.
And she's finding herself.
And it's also her career at the same time. It's not like she's all fucking around, you know?
Right. You know, so and then
like the fashion industry is a great industry to get into. I mean, it's not a great industry because
Right.
it's a hostile industry.
Right.
I just mean like it's a very financially
stable,
sustaining
yeah
industry if that's what you go for.
To the right. But you know, at the same time, she eventually became too overly egoed, and then that's when she needed to find out her confidence. So in the end, she did go, like, okay. But she learned a lesson, but she used both her life experiences and became a better person. And that's what like confidence is all about. Is that are there going to be some days your confidence are a little less than others? Totally. But are there going to be days that your confidence is going to be like super high? Totally. But I think at the same time, you can balance it out. So it's all about balance. That's what life is all about anyway, is balance. So when you gain a confidence, and there are going to be some days where you're just like, oh, I don't know how I really feel about this, but I'm going to go with it anyway because you're confident enough to go, I'm going to go do it anyway. And in the end, you're like, I'm so glad I did that.
So I feel like whatever gives you confidence, kind of stick with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like whatever brings you joy.
Stick with it.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that Mackenzie needs to learn. If you find something you thoroughly enjoy, and even something you thoroughly enjoy is going to piss you off.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one of the other things that she needs to understand.
It's like when it gets hard, you should just quit.
Yeah,
like
you should just
anything
quit.
worth doing is hard.
Yeah. And so at the end of the day, if you continue to work with it, some days it's going to piss you off. You can go, I'm going to take a break.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back.
I'm going to say something about not only my generation, but the younger generations after me. Okay? And I'm going to out myself a little bit. All these generations, me or younger, whatever, I feel like we have this like kind of mentality of instant gratification.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's due to us, having technology and everything at our fingertips at all times and stuff like that. But I do feel like instant gratification is kind of like one of those things that holds you back in a way. because, and it's hard to get past even for me. Like I'm even, like I said, I'm outing myself here, but because it's like you want what you want right now, and you don't want to wait for it, and like all this stuff, and then you have the whole like, oh well, life is short, do it now, and that kind of stuff. So I feel like at the same time, you have to be able to like plan ahead for the future and be like, I'm not going to get this gratification today, but there's always tomorrow.
There's always tomorrow.
And like if I work on it and work on it and work on it, that gratification, while not instant, is going to build and be so much better than that instant. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no. Like one of the things that like Leo, like he's got so many followers on TikTok, right? I tell him all the time, you may have those followers, but they're not what you think they are.
Yeah.
Because A, you're doing something like you're putting out little small clips, people enjoy it, they'll follow you, but it's not the way that you think they're following. People that I feel like we don't have that a lot of followers on TikToks, but we do. At the same time, it's quite a bit of number. I feel like they are legitimately following because they're like, oh, we really like their work.
Yeah.
And they're following for that reason. And I feel like there's a difference between that and that.
Why do you think they're following Leo?
He just posts weird videos. They're videos that if I watch them, I'm going to be like,
yeah.
Why? Why is that? Why is that even a? Some videos that people post, I'm like, why is that even a? Why are people even following you for that?
Right.
I mean, I really don't understand it sometimes, but I'm like, why?
It's bots too.
Yeah, that it could be that. There's genuine followers, and then there's followers that are just following just because you're getting a number.
Yeah.
I feel like the gratification here is better than the gratification here.
Yeah.
But he gets excited. And I don't tell him that. But, like, I just want, like, I have said, I just want you to understand that you might not have the followers that you think you have sometimes. Because of the fact that you're not really posting anything that is giving.
Yeah.
You're just kind of posting. But he's learning a trait, which can be gratification in itself.
Yeah.
That some people are like,
because
he's a little rusty.
He's like what, 12 now?
Yeah.
So like by the time he's 18, he should be rocking that shit. He should have like 1 million followers.
So then there's that. So it's like, okay, but he's learning a trait on his own self.
Right.
So I can't knock his confidence there because some people might genuinely be following him because they like what he's posting.
Yeah.
So like it's just a back and forth. There's gratification and there's the confidence to continue to do what you love to do, no matter the circumstances that are giving you that. That's one of the things Mackenzie wants to do an episode with me that I tell her all the time. I'm like, if you go on camera, because she is not confident in certain things, and sometimes she makes certain comments of, well, they're going to judge me because of this or what I say. You can't go in with that mindset.
Yeah.
You got to be able to
The thing is like people
are
going to judge you no matter what you do.
Yeah. No matter what.
Like that's just how it is.
That's how
you have to be able to like push past that. I know people judging me heavy, okay, but what am I going to do? I am but a girl. I'm literally just a girl.
Just as long as you're confident in yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where like the hate comments.
That was with me. Is like, oh, people are gonna think I'm lame. Like I'm not a cool, funny person.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think like the more I do it, the more I find out I might be kind of funny.
Yeah.
I don't know about cool, but I think I'm kind of funny.
I think you're cool and funny all at the same time. I think that like some people are gonna get our sense of humor. Some people are not.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And the more that you watch, the more that you're gonna be like, okay, we see it.
Yeah,
and,
which is why I say we need to redo seasons 1 and 2 because it's hard to see that sometimes, you know, because especially off camera in season 1 and trying to find our, you know, balance and everything like that. Plus season 3 is really when we started doing special, or no, we did our special into season 3. Yeah, so we were starting to like figure out what we want to do and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's a balance of life.
It is.
I get it. And I understand it. Like sometimes you gotta start from this point to this point. And I feel like as time goes on, people are gonna see it. There are gonna be some episodes that might not be a hit right away. And there might be episodes where they're like, we like this episode. This is fun. Just give us a chance. You know, just look at it and give us a chance. Be like, okay, well, I didn't like this episode. Go to a different episode.
Yeah. I mean, we got all kinds of shit. We talk about all kinds of shit. Personally, go to our apocalypse episode. That one is so funny for no reason.
For no reason.
I love that one.
What was season
that
2
one cracks me up. Was it?
Yeah.
It was the apocalypse one where I'm like, I don't know about zombies. Zombies freak me out. But
Like,
we
we
were
don't-
talking, and that's like one of the ones that I'd like to revisit because we were talking about like different apocalypse like scenarios, and it was just such a cool fucking topic. Like I loved it. It was so
Yeah.
fun.
We can.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely down for that.
cool.
Yeah. At the end of the day, just be confident in who you are as a
What's wrong
person.
with me?
What's wrong with
What's
being
wrong with
confident?
being
Confident.
confident?
Just be confident in who you are, no matter what. People are gonna judge you, and that's okay. Because if you're confident, that's all that matters. And then your work will
Yeah,
show
and
for it.
at the end of the day, you're the one who has to live with yourself.
Yeah.
No one else has to live with you.
Nope.
So
Yeah.
doesn't really matter.
So as we were talking about earlier, we have a lot of things in the works. We got one thing that is going to be soon coming out.
Probably during our break.
During our break, probably.
Yes.
Yeah. Because technically we're not taking a break from that. But
So, like I said, there's gonna be a lot that's like we're still gonna be around.
yeah.
We're just not gonna be.
We got a lot of things in the work, and that's what we're working on. And where you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, RSS.com. You can also find us on Blue Sky and Substack, Skylight, all those places under the Gen D podcast. That's where you can find us.
You can email us at thegendpodcast@gmail.com.
Yes. So if you guys have any ideas for future episodes, don't feel free to share.
Literally reach out. You can reach out to us on TikTok. You can reach out to us on email. It doesn't
matter. And also, I want to say this too. Our whole idea is that we're not stuck to one topic. We're kind of doing our views
like a talk show.
Yeah, we're like a talk show. So we're not stuck on one topic. We do various ideas of topics. There might be an episode where you're kind of like, oh, I want you guys to do something like this. We'll try it out, but we're not going to just become that specific thing.
Yeah,
Because
like we like to be a wide range of topics. We like to talk about anything and everything, especially when it has to do with our lives, because we do come from two different generations, and so we base all of our experiences on that fact.
Yep.
Not to mention we are like 10 years apart and stuff like that.
We are, yes.
So, but this is basically just to show like the side of two different generations. You know what I mean? And then like how we grew up and how we were raised, and just regular topics of everyday life. Yeah. But on top of that, we like to talk about cool stuff and like theories and stuff like that. So
stuff that we think would be awesome.
Yeah.
So that is just what we are. That is who we are.
We like to think of this as, we're having a conversation with you, and you're in the room with us, and we're literally all just having a conversation, and we're all sitting down and hanging out and having a good time. And that's really just how. And I know one of the people who have seen this podcast did say that's what it felt like watching us.
Yeah.
And that's perfect because it's exactly what we were going for. So
that's exactly what we're going for.
Join the conversation. Be a part of the conversation. Comment, share, subscribe, like, and also reach out to us because we love talking to our viewers.
And we do when people do reply on videos and stuff, we try to reply back.
Yeah, and we also if we bring it into our next episode or whatever, we won't mention your name just because we don't know if we can or not. Yep. And we want to be respectful, but we do add in that it is from someone who commented on whatever.
Yep.
So but if you do email us and you want to share a story or you whatever you want to do, and you don't want us to use your name, add that in there.
Yep.
Or if you do want us to use their name, add that in there. We would also very much like and appreciate you using pronouns in the beginning so that we know what to call you and what to refer to you.
Because we want to be respectful.
If you are in the market for a book, I am a writer. So
she is a writer.
Go check out The Reaper That Sought Me and Behind Classroom Doors. They are both on Amazon.com. And my, handle is Alyssa Love Dillon.
Yep.
So you can literally type in the title into Kindle or my name, it'll pop up.
And it'll pop up. Yeah, make sure you go check her stuff out. She's very good at what she does.
Tyler,
I'm one of her number one fans.
He is, and I love to appreciate. Okay, and with that,
until next time.
Bye.
Bye.